Well, I guess it's all you, Alan, because nothing else is coming up.
All right.
Why is this? I thought I heard, oh my God, but where's she when you need her? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are there. We're everywhere.
I was just going to wait until it got to the slow part.
Well, you're coming in loud and clear. So you go at it anytime.
Right.
Just got back from a meeting, and it's been pretty interesting. You could take over.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, top of the time zone. I'm Alan C., and welcome to the Innervision FM universe. Tonight we'll be featuring Alter Aeon. It's a text-based adventure game. These things were once called MUD, which is a multi-user dimension. Stay with us. You're not going to want to miss today's podcast here on the Innervision FM universe.
And since we don't have our James Brown announcer and our audience, studio audience, because we're doing it on a Thursday, and people are not expecting us to be here today, but we are here live and in person. All right. Enough. Wait. I said enough. All right. Now, where are you at? Okay. Well, I guess it's gonna go. It's not paying attention to any of my. Oh my God! And now you come in.
Hey, better late than never, I guess.
I know.
My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather, so James Bond saying, stay with it and hit it.
All right. Yeah, you guys are apologizing now. Where were you when I needed you, huh? Jeez. And I don't know what's going on with this. It says station play. It's right there. But let's see. I think I could do Alt P for pause for. But would that pause the recording?
Yeah.
So let's try. Let's see what happens. Let's see. No. Okay, well that's not what I want to do. How do I pause the screen share? Okay.
Well, while you figure that out, let's see here. I'll kind of mention a little bit about what the game is.
Oh yes, there you go. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're presenting this because it is now, or it has been for a while, accessible for the blind, which is always like fantastic when, something you could do, to take your mind off of just crazy stuff in the world, and say, hey, I could play this game here and win points and all that kind of stuff. And I guess you can't win any money really, but you can win other stuff.
Alter Aeon is a text adventure game where you can visit a lot of different places, everything from the ancient city of kings to the elemental planes to all kinds of different places. Just gonna check this real quick. There's Shadowfax. How you doing, Shadowfax? We just kind of went ahead and introduced the show. We went ahead and just decided we were going to live stream it. So, how's your evening going?
Let's see. Gotta unmute yourself there.
We were just going to tell a little bit about Alter Aeon, everything from quests and different things dealing with adventures that you could have within it. It's a D&D style type of game where you can play 6 different classes, everything from a mage, cleric, warrior, thief, necromancer, and a druid. So there's a lot of different things within the game that you can enjoy and have a lot of fun with.
Now your audio is up now.
You there?
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. How you doing, Shadowfax?
Good.
Got Torax in the house here, and got Johnny J in the house, president and station manager of Innervision FM. We were just kind of going through the mechanics of what the game is all about. I guess you're an administrator for the game, so tell us a little bit about what Alter Aeon is, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Alter Aeon. Alter Aeon is a medieval fantasy role-playing game that has its roots in Dungeons and Dragons. Your character can cast magic spells, fight monsters, complete quests, and craft items. Being a text game, the game describes everything that your character sees, hears, touches, and interacts with via words and descriptions. A lot of the appeal of the game is found in the interactions that you have with other players, whether it's by grouping, socializing, trading, or exploring together. We have a full-featured chat system that helps support communications, including private tells, user-created channels, and an internal email system. The game's been around for a while. It was first created by a guy by the name of Dennis Town and went live in January of 1995.
Wow. I joined the game back in 2006, I think May of 2006 it was. And I had been looking for MUDs or multi-user dimension games for a while. And I ran across Alter Aeon after playing some other ones back in the early 90s, like 97, 98, 99.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran across Alter Aeon and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is really a cool game because it really features within the storylines, within the quests, within all of the different game mechanics. It hits on all 4 of the what psychologists call the different quotients. You've got intelligence quotients, and that's the measure of your ability to solve problems, perform mathematical operations, memorize things, and recall stuff. The second thing that it also hits on is the emotional quotient. This helps your ability to keep time, maintain peace with others. That's really important, especially when you're playing with a bunch of folks online with different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Be responsible. That's super important. Back in the early days, there were some things that within the game mechanics, if you did a certain thing, it affected the entirety of the whole game. And as a world builder, I would imagine that's still very important for somebody like yourself, Shadowfax. Social quotient was also addressed. You got to make a lot of friends on the game.
Oh, yeah.
And that measures your ability to maintain relationships, have a good time, while still kind of, really getting out there and putting your your role playing, I guess, aspects into play. Although it's not so much a role playing game. How do I explain that?
Well, I think the genre usually is described as hack and slash. It's very quick and combat focused.
So it really affects that. Now, the fourth one is what is kind of termed as a new paradigm. It's a adversity quotient. What in the heck do you do when life hits you a curveball? What in the heck do you do when you just want to relax? Maybe the news cycle is just getting you down or something like this. Well, you fire up a game. I mean, nothing better than firing up a good old video game to take your mind off of what's going on. So this hits all four of the different quotients that are necessary within life so that you can develop good, rounded personality, both in game and, of course, in real life. We're definitely all about God here. We're all about Jesus and things like this. And so why are we featuring a game like this? Well, it's important because we want to recognize what this is to the community, especially for the blind community. Of course, we're not so square or stodgy that from time to time, we don't step outside the boundaries of, what is the whole paradigm of the whole God thing. We realize that we live in the world, and the world is not always kind and sweet and cuddly. And we're not always kind or sweet or cuddly, and sometimes we need to take a little break.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where did you want to start, Shadowfax? I prepared a couple of few questions. Where did you want to go first?
Well, let me follow up with something you just said, because I think when the COVID crisis started, we really had to look internally and think about what our role as an online game was for our community, and we provide, what we concluded is we provide entertainment. Okay. And like you said, entertainment's important to be a well-rounded person and to be happy, we're put on this earth to have joy, and hopefully we can bring about some of that through our game. And hopefully people enjoy playing it too.
The blind community tend to gravitate towards text adventure games like this one. And this one is most notably played on the PC or laptop. I guess you could play it on a tablet or your iPhone, or smartphone, I should say. I've heard of people doing that, but oh my gosh, the text, it goes so quickly that there are filters and things like this to kind of help negotiate that. But it's really hard to swipe and double tap or do all the hand gestures necessary. So generally it's, all about on your keyboard. And yes, it's done through a client, Mud client. Those are available on the Aeon website, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But how in the world does a blind person get around? They travel using the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west, up, down, south, east, northeast, northwest, southwest. And so it really is an important thing for you to know where you're going, but also where you've been. And so we can't look at maps as well as a sighted person might be able to. But this game really helps to reinforce that in a in-game setting, so that when you're out there traveling in the real world using your cane to get from place to place, because it speaks to the IQ portion of what we just discussed, you already have been memorizing certain things, being able to perform operations either mathematically or otherwise, that will help you to recall the things that you've learned. What do you what are some of your experiences as a game developer working with blind individuals online? What are some things that have been brought up to you over the years that you'd like to share?
So as you know, the overwhelming majority of our players are blind.
Yeah.
So Alter Aeon is specifically designed to cater to this demographic. Like you mentioned, it is very difficult to play Alter Aeon on mobile devices for the time being. There just isn't really any good support for accessible gaming.
Yeah.
So we encourage anybody wanting to play to use their desktop or laptop computers. We do have the clients. I could talk about them later.
Yeah.
We also have a number of in-game tools designed to assist visually impaired players. For example, there is something called a spam filter. This removes unwanted words and lines so your screen isn't all muddled up and overwhelmed with information. The system's really intricate and it allows players to decide for themselves which information is most relevant in any given situation, such as combat. Furthermore, we have a brief mode that gags long descriptions in rooms, which can be rather lengthy and slow down one screen reader, especially when you're moving quickly from place to place. All the descriptions within the game are crafted with blind players in mind. With regards to compass directions, like you said, all the rooms display directions for exits, and your character knows the relative direction of one area with respect to adjacent areas. So these features and can help blind players navigate the game world. And I suppose learning to navigate the game world is much the same as doing it in the real world with regards to directions.
Yeah.
I've seen devices like talking compasses before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like that, the screen's telling you which ways there's a north, there's an east, you can go this way or that. And it's like a talking compass.
Oh, fantastic.
It is totally fantastic. It's one of my favorite games ever. You were talking a little bit about descriptions, and the long form descriptions of rooms are really, really, really well engineered, really well written out. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's one of my favorite games ever. Like I've played a lot of games, although now I don't have much time to play anything or do anything other than to try to work.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
It has helped me out a lot, developing my quote character, as it were, in real life. We were talking a little bit about the lockdowns, and adversity quotient is addressed here. How in the world am I going to navigate this brave new world that is being created for us, so to speak? There's a lot of things that are changing, including artificial intelligence coming up, all kinds of things. But it's still very important to stay engaged and to realize there's still a lot to be brought to the table by everybody, whether you're blindsided, it doesn't matter. None of it. It's what can we do to unite each other as a human race, because we're all human at the end of the day, and we all have these 4 types of quotients to interact with: the intelligence, the emotion, the social, and this adversity quotient, where we grew up a certain way, we had certain values, and those values do tend to be challenged a bit. How do we navigate that?
Let's have, I guess, walk us through a typical game.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell us how a typical game would go.
Well,
that's a tall order.
Well, obviously, the experience is it's going to be for everybody. But let's see. Well, I made reference before about how it's like Dungeons and Dragons. You are in a game world and you do game things. There are NPCs or non-player characters that you can engage with. You can fight them. You can do jobs or quests on their behalf, or you can just talk to them. Alterian is designed to be played casually, meaning you don't have to be like an expert in the game's lore to be able to enjoy it. You can pick it up and put it down whenever you need to.
Yeah.
But that having been said, there is plenty of lore to delve into if you enjoy that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So if you like, yeah. So if you like reading, and if you like, I mean, the game world has a rich and detailed history and mythology. So stories and and getting back to the original question, stories like progress in Alterian primarily by doing quests. So you start a quest, you complete it, you'll go clear out a dungeon, you'll go slay a dragon, you'll go stuff like that. Some of them are epic and grand, and some of them are saving cats from trees for there's all sorts of different things that you can do. We also occasionally host like big system events that advance the status of the entire game. Like our last one I could think of, we added a new god to our pantheon. Okay, so that was a big deal.
Interesting.
We also have like a huge library of books that players and builders have written over the years. I mean, there's hundreds of them. Oh, yeah. So what else is there? Let's see. There's objects in the world. Obviously, important to players are equipment, objects that your character can wear. You're going to be looking for items like potions and scrolls that activate magic spells. Alterian features an extensive crafting system, whereby players can gather resources and create their own customized equipment and magic items. And you fight stuff. You fight a lot of things.
Yes, fighting is a really good. Looks like my buddy. Looks like his computer crapped out. Go ahead and continue. I'll see if I can find the next question here.
Sure.
So as a text-based game, it basically harnesses the power of your imagination. There's no right way or wrong way to play the game. It definitely is super awesome. And I totally lost my questions list. Do you happen to have yours in front of you or no?
Yes. And it is lagging badly. The Zoom is slowing me down quite a bit. Oh, okay. One question that you had for me was experiences dealing with the multicultural aspects of, having players from all different parts of the world playing at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's true. We entertain players from all over the world. Now, as a text game, I'd say our biggest issue when dealing with different cultures is language.
Yeah.
English is the medium used for in-game descriptions, yet for many of our players, English is not their primary language. On certain channels, it's not uncommon to see people communicating in other languages like Arabic or German or Tagalog. I make use of the Spanish language channel myself. So
Wow.
It's important for me as a game administrator to be patient and understanding when dealing with non-native English speakers.
That's got to be very fascinating, navigating multilingual type of situations and, navigating the World Wide Web, so to speak, of gameplay. So where do folks find Alter Aeon?
What? Okay, what? Sorry, my son just barged into the room. What's the matter,
Okay.
son? What's the matter? What's wrong?
Got stuck. And it's still flying in the air.
His kite is flying away.
No, it's stuck.
Oh, it's
Kite string.
okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry there, Shadowfax.
That's okay. Just a moment. Son, I'm going to have to get the ladder out and pull it down. Okay. It's not something I could just jump up and go do right now. Okay. All right. I'll go save his kite. So just settle down.
We'll go ahead and end this in if you want.
No, I still have stuff I prepare here. What else was I going to say here? No, it's all right, honey. We'll get the kite later. All right, they were outside to try and stay out of my hair, and
No worries. You can find the game by typing www.alteraeon.com. That's alteraeon.com into your web browser, and it'll come right up because it is blind player friendly. Everything is easy to navigate using your screen reader. Of course, it doesn't always just cater to the blind community. There are few sighted folks that still play these kinds of things. They're pretty cool. So there's colors, that kind of thing, text that's addressed to kind of catch your eye, I guess, from what I understand. So it is pretty cool. But it's an interesting type of game that allows for one to really get in there and have a good time.
yeah, that's what we're here for. We're uniting humanity through having a good time.
That's right. The world is a interesting place, but we do need the break from reality sometimes, and getting into alter reality, as it were. Alter Aeon is a wonderful way to get that done. I wait for the time when there are these kind of virtual reality or augmented reality type of situations where you can just about jump right into the game and actually be there. And that's probably not too far down the road. Do you envision something like that ever happening?
With Alter Aeon, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the format will allow it. Meaning that, how many blind people want to be blind in the game too? It's like
No, they all want to be sighted, obviously.
yeah.
I guess.
So I'm not sure how you'd facilitate that. We'll figure something out though.
Yeah, you never know. You've got the Neuralink or something like this. You could literally pipe vision right into your brain theoretically. It's an interesting future that we're creating for ourselves. Looks like Johnny's not going to come back. But any final thoughts before we shut her down?
No, if I could just make mention of anyone wanting to play the game, our client for visually impaired players is called MushZ. It's a sound pack is specifically designed to work with their game and a screen reader. So you can reach the download link for that at mush-z.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was about it. Oh, one other thing that might be of particular interest to your community is we do feature a full soundtrack for the game.
Totally.
Which is not common for our genre of games. So we do try to stand out in that respect and have music for everything.
That is interesting that you bring that up because, there is possibilities for folks to submit ideas. I guess you're not looking for world builders or any of that, but from time to time that will happen. But, I'm sure different music soundtracks will always be something that people will want to see featured, especially as the worlds plural within the game become developed. The different scenes or different rooms will often have different types of music within the rooms. So, we do feature grassroots musicians on this show, whether they're physically disabled, financially challenged, or both. But from time to time, we'll feature things like this. Well, how does a person that's not a musician or a recording artist get enjoyment out of life if they happen to have a disability, whether it's a visual impairment or physical disability? So, Shadowfax, really, really want to thank you for joining us. And this is an awesome game, you guys. I mean, I really have a hard time finding something that holds my interest at all when it comes to games, because I'm more work related. But I always keep coming back. Is this one still up? Is this still online? Yeah. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yes, we're still here.
Yeah.
We'll always be here.
Any final thoughts for us?
No, thank you for having me on to be able to talk about Alter Aeon. I'm always happy to talk about my favorite game and yours. And
you've got a YouTube channel for Alter Aeon as well.
Yes, we do monthly updates on our YouTube channel. They are primarily audio presentations, but they do feature footage of me playing the game. If you can see that,
yep. That's cool. That is really cool.
Yep. So that's I guess I dropped the link for that too. That's youtube.com/Alter Aeon. Pretty easy to follow. Yeah. We've got all sorts of social media. We've got a Facebook page. We've got a Twitter, or I guess it's called X now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So follow us on your favorite.
Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, I just said follow us on your favorite one. That's it.
Yeah, the tweets are also located right there on the main page. Sometimes if some administrator, or I would guess somebody who's following your page, makes a tweet or an X tweet. Anyway, it shows up there as well in real time. So it'll say, "Oh, there aren't any tweets just yet."
They broke that recently. I'm gonna have to do something else. Yeah. Elon Musk is getting pretty wild with stuff. So
yeah, bummer. Well, just disregard that.
Okay. Well, we have a Discord too. I should make mention.
Oh yeah, the Discord. Man, oh man, there's just so much. This game is so involved and it's so much fun. There's nothing better than just, man, if you want to nerd out and geek out, really just spend a weekend immersing yourself in an alter reality. Alter Aeon is the way to go.
Sounds great. Couldn't say it better myself.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us in the Innervision FM universe. Going to go ahead and shut her down, and we'll see you guys next week with some entertainment news and music news. And as well, we will cover some current events. There's plenty of fun stuff going on these days. Thanks very much, Shadowfax.
All right. Thanks, Torax. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Have a good one.
I better go save my son's kite now.
You take care.
All right. You too.
All right.
Bye.